Okay, phone failure. I'm back. Part 2. We're almost there. Okay, so I had left off where when the wheel's together, you can't see that notch, but you'll see those two dimples. And so what you basically need to do is opposite of those dimples. You need to get it pushed down a little bit. Just push down from not far, like an inch down, which happens quite easily. Now, with the tire on, obviously, it's going to be a little different. I'm guessing back in the day, they would have had some kind of, I'm not sure what kind of tooling they had to work with these, or if it was done largely by hand. But the whole idea really behind multi-piece wheels is that you can deal with big tires without, a pneumatic tire changer. It was so that you could work with them by hand if you had the right tooling, I guess. But anyway, I digress. So anyways, you get this pushed down a little bit. This notch shows its face. I just started even just with a tiny screwdriver. I managed to get in there and wiggle a little bit and pull it up. And once you get it up a certain amount, it's kind of to the right of that notch, then those flat spots that I was talking about earlier end up, you get it to this point, and the whole thing can just slide right off. So that's how they come apart, and that's how they, now when you think about it, this was really hard to take off. So even though there's really not a big this edge here, which is, that's an eighth of an inch, is probably all that edge is that's holding on to. Let's see here. I can get you guys up under here. Oops, bad light there. Shop wall. Same deal here. We got there's a lip here, eighth of an inch. So an eighth of an inch of this is hanging on to an eighth of an inch of this, and when it's all centered, it can hold the force. But if it's not sitting centered, that's where, by all accounts, these guys would just fly apart with extreme force. If you've Googled the RH-5, that half the stuff that comes up is lawsuits, class action lawsuits from years back. So there's a reason we don't do it this way anymore. But I just wanted to kind of take the mystery out of how, because initially when you see one together, like I did, I cut the tire off, and I still couldn't figure out, how does this thing come apart? It's loose, but it doesn't, you have to hold it just a certain way for it to actually come off. And I'm guessing if you were going to put it back together with a tire, it's the same deal then. You gotta get the one end down enough to get those notches started, and then you'd have to apply force to each side kind of and work the thing down. I imagine it would take quite a bit to actually get it back together. But yeah, I'm certainly not going to tell you guys to use these wheels, and you won't find a tire shop. In fact, if you find a tire shop that'll work on these, you probably don't want to use that tire shop. If anybody with any sense of liability of any kind, these just aren't used anymore. It's a thing of the past. And those have sat and held air for 30 years. I guess I'm not going to tell anybody to use them, but at the same time, it's when you see how they work, and I mean, they worked. Millions and millions and millions of them, I'm sure, were made and used and worked, and a lot of them killed people. But yeah, that's the beast. That's the Widowmaker, the infamous RH-5 wheel. Kind of cool, actually. That's it.